Hi there, Eric. You know, so many people waiting for any bit of information, and now this. When that door plug blew out, it was chaos on board that aircraft, rapid decompression, and that triggered an emergency landing with 177 people on board. A startling finding, that door plug that blew out, leaving this gaping hole, and passengers and crew stunned and scrambling, was missing 4 key bolts. They weren't loose. The NTSB says they were gone.
We are emergency. We are depressurized. We do need to return back to. We have 177 passengers.
They described this as photo evidence and said it shows bolts were missing from the door plug in 3 areas of 4th location, not visible because it's covered by insulation. And here, the U.S. regulator writes the 4 bolts that prevent upward movement of the mid-exit door plug were missing. We learned the door plug had been removed to fix rivets that were damaged. A lack of damage around the holes for the bolts indicates the bolts were missing when the door blew out, the report said.
I certainly agree that the current system is not working.
Separate from the preliminary findings, the FAA administrator in the hot seat before a congressional committee. The FAA is separately investigating whether Boeing and its suppliers followed proper safety procedures.
It's not delivering safe aircraft, so we have to make some changes to that. And I think we also have to look at the culture.
The NTSB said it's now investigating documentation linked to the opening and closing of the door plug, raising more questions about quality control for Boeing and Spirit Aerosystems, who manufacture the door plug and did the rivet repairs.
The safety culture of any organization flows from the top.
Boeing acknowledged responsibility in a statement. Boeing President Dave Calhoun said whatever final conclusions are reached, Boeing is accountable for what happened. An event like this must not happen on an airplane that leaves our factory. We simply must do better for our customers and their passengers. Now, keep in mind, this report draws no conclusions. It is simply a preliminary report that outlines the facts that they know so far. A final report on the probable cause is likely going to come out in about a year, but often it can take anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. That's the very latest. Reporting live in Renton, I'm Michelle Esteban.
Michelle, thank you. Boeing says it has already taken steps to improve the quality of the production of its airplanes. Part of that includes new inspections of door plug assembly, not only at its own factories, but with its suppliers, too. Boeing said it will also open its production facilities to its customers so they can conduct their own reviews. In a statement, President and CEO Dave Calhoun said, quote, "This added scrutiny from ourselves, from our regulator, and from our customers will make us better. It's that simple." We're joined right now by aviation analyst John Nance. John, you've been following the story very closely from the beginning. What is your initial reaction to the preliminary report findings?
2 things, really. Number one, it just confirmed what most of us in aviation safety already felt we knew, which was all 4 bolts had to be missing completely. And secondly, it confirms that this new age, if you will, of NTSB immediacy has really been good for transparency, because 20, 30 years ago, it wouldn't have been a report 10 or 20 days out. It would have been many, many months later. And these are things that can be stated right now. The rest of the report, of course, will take quite a while. But this already tells us a lot about what we needed to know.
John, there are currently more than 10,000 Boeing commercial jets in service all around the world, the overwhelming majority of which certainly fly without any problems. But given all the attention on Flight 1282, how comfortable should people feel about flying on a Boeing jet right now?
I think completely comfortable, Eric. As a matter of fact, I would sit in even 26A right next to this mid door anytime in the future, because what we found here, first of all, aviation safety is so incredibly safe that we found a glitch, but everybody's jumping on it. And as a matter of fact, I think we can all take a lot of pride, if you will, in our aviation community in north of the border, so to speak, that we have the FAA, the NTSB, Boeing, Alaska Airlines, United, everybody came together like a thunderclap to get this fixed.
John, we're a little more than 3 years removed from the FAA clearing the 737 MAX to return to service following the disasters in Ethiopia and Indonesia. So looking ahead, how big of an issue will the door plug incident be for Boeing or even its customers in the long run?
Well, it may sound a little strange to say this, but it's going to be a positive element because it's going to redirect Boeing into looking at exactly what it's going to take to have the safety culture they need, which is 100% perfection by the time these birds come off the line. There has been a diminution in the last number of years of the number of inspectors. That's probably going to change very dramatically. But the thing is, this is a human factors problem. And to deal with human factors, you've got to lay everything out on the table. You've got to kind of rebuild your methodologies.
Aviation analyst John Nance, thanks for joining us tonight with your insight. Always a pleasure, John, and we look forward to hearing from you again in the near future.